Hello, boys. This is Amita Gardner here. I have already taken your class today on Zoom meeting. Now, the same poem I am going to repeat once again for you, and the poem is Fire and Ice, written by Robert Frost. Now, first of all, something about the poet. Robert Frost is one of the most distinguished poets of America. Frost has written many notable poems apart from the one which you are reading, Fire and Ice. There are other poems, The Road Not Taken, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Mending Wall, and so on. Now, introduction of the poem. Fire and Ice is a short poem of 9 lines only. In a quite objective manner, the poet says that some people say that fire, what is fire here? It is a symbol of passion, of anger, hatred, aggressiveness, cruelty, and greed. That some people say that fire will cause the end of the world. Then he says that there are other people who say that ice. Now, what is the ice? What ice symbolizes here? Ice symbolizes indifference, insensitivity, and coldness in emotions and feelings of human beings. So, some people say that ice will cause the end of the world. The poet also says that if the world has to end twice, then either excessive passion or indifference will be the cause of the end of the world. Now, summary. According to the speaker of the poem, there are different opinions as how the world would end. Some people think the world will end in fire, and some think that it will end in ice. The poet agrees with those who feel that the world will perish or end or come to an end in fire. The poet is with them who think that the world one day will end in fire. The poet is aware that the fire of anger, hatred, and greed is very strong in this world, and this fire will bring the downfall of the world. Okay, a day will come when the fire of hatred will spread all over the world, and the world will be reduced to ashes. Ashes means to dust. So there will be complete destruction. Nothing would be left. Now, however, there is another possibility. According to the poem, there is another possibility. According to the poet, ice is also great destructor. Ice here symbolizes coldness, rigidity, insensitiveness, and indifference. These types of feelings for each other can also destroy the world forever. Now, explanation stanza wise, there are 2 stanzas. So, first I will explain you lines 1 to 4, and then the second stanza, lines 5 to 9. Now, some people say that the fire will cause the end of the world. There are others who say that ice will end the world. From my means poets, from poets' experience of having tasted passion, he agrees with those who say that the world will be consumed by fire. So this is the explanation of the first stanza. Now in second stanza, in 5 lines, what he has said, but if he says, but if the world has to end twice, and two times, from his personal experience of hatred, the poet says that ice is quite powerful and sufficient to be the source of or the cause of the end of the world or destruction of the world. Now, theme of the poem. Fire and ice is in fact a symbolic poem. Must have understood by now that it is a symbolic poem. Fire and ice, both symbols have been used over here. So, fire and ice is in fact a symbolic poem. Fire should not be taken as substance literally. It is not a substance, but only its effect you try to understand. That fire gives us extreme heat and ice gives extreme cold. So, fire and these two things should not be taken literally. For fire here symbolizes excessive greed and avarice, conflict and fury. Ice here stands for excessive coldness in emotions, human emotions, indifference and insensitivity. According to the poet, these negative feelings can destroy the whole world one day. These will bring a permanent pause. Pause means a stop, an end to the world. So the poem is a type of warning. What is the poem? It is a type of warning given by the poet to save our beautiful world from these passions. Now, what is the message conveyed by the poet to the readers? We must try to save this world from these passions. Fire and ice are two contradictory terms. Contradictory means they are just opposite. All of you know about this. That fire is hot and the ice is an example of coldness and just something which is cold, insensitive. It is the juxtaposition which shows that the world is threatened by these negative feelings of humans for each other. Now, this is the message, and is giving a warning to human beings that in this way, if we'll keep on behaving in this way, one day the world will end either in fire or in ice. Now, literary devices. Two major important literary devices have been used by the poet in this poem. First is metaphor. In this brief poem, the poet has used the metaphor of fire to suggest the fierce passions like anger, avarice, conflict, and the metaphor of ice he has used to suggest extreme passion of indifference and hatred. Both types of passions are negative and destructive. So these two metaphors he has used, fire and ice. Now, second literary device which he has used is alliteration. What is an alliteration? All of you know the repetition of consonant sounds in the expression is known as alliteration. So, the repetition of consonant sounds in the expression, in the first line it is there, the world will. So, w sound, W and W. These two consonant sounds have been repeated, and in the language of poetry it is known as alliteration. In the second line, the poet has written some say. So this S and S sound, consonant sound has been repeated. So it is also an example of alliteration. Now in line number 4, The poet has written favor, fire, F and F. Again, repetition of this sound, consonant sound. So, this is also an example of alliteration. And these examples are vivid and they show the vivid use of the literary device called alliteration. Now, first of all, you see this. Before I could give you the homework, you see this. Rhyme scheme of the poem. I have told you earlier that only 2 stanzas are there. We have read also just now. First stanza is of 4 lines only, and the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, A. This is the rhyme scheme, A, B, A, A. And the second stanza, which has 5 lines, its rhyme scheme is B, C, B, C, and B. B, C, B, C, B. So this is the rhyme scheme of the whole poem. Now, homework for you, very important. You do it in your notebooks and just keep it with you. And the homework for you is, first you will do the word meaning, which is given, 2-3 word meanings are given at the end of the poem. You do, and if any other hard word you find, you just consult the dictionary and mention it also. And after that, you do question number 1, 2, and 3 in your notebooks. This will be your homework. Apart from this, you try to do extract based questions also, and few short and long answer type questions also. Okay, boys? So now take good care of yourself, stay at home and study. Thank you.